I'm so glad you've joined me today on this class about gardening and cooking. So today we're going to share some stories about how we use our essential oils in the garden and how we use them for cooking. So these are two great books. I love this Vitality cooking culinary set. This cookbook came with the Vitality culinary cooking set. So if you haven't gotten that, it's a great place to get started. It comes with all of these things included in this picture. The utensils, the bowl, the Vitality oils, and the nice little wooden rack to put your oils on. I mean, check this out. You don't even have to use this in the kitchen. It sits on my office shelf. So then my favorite book on gardening, and by our own Jackie Tarleton. She's a member in our organization, phenomenal master gardener. She wrote this book and it tells all about gardening and how to garden, how to get started gardening. It has so many great tips. You're going to order this from Growing Healthy Homes, okay? And Jackie knows what she's doing. She's been a master gardener longer than she has used essential oils. So it's a great thing. So let me get started. I'm going to share with you some slides today so you can follow along a little bit better. And we can work together to learn. All right, so with gardening and oils, you may be a gardener, you may be wanting to start up as a gardener, but looks like the slide is going to just take off. So let me slow down. All right. So you may want to be starting up as a gardener wherever you land. Here are some basic tips today. Okay. This isn't going to be too much of a detailed class. So basic tips for your gardening journey. And all right, so using essential oils in the gardening process will help us with many different results with fruits and veggies that have been lovingly cared for as they're growing in the most organic way. You can achieve that affordably, sustainably, and without harsh chemicals. So, what are essential oils? I'm going to cover this real basic and kind of tell you how our oils are different than others. So what are essential oils? They're the chemical compound that make up the life force of the plant. They've been referred to as the immune system of the plant. We're able to use them throughout the process of distillation and harvesting. The part of the plant that's with beneficial chemicals, stems, leaves, bark, are harvested and sent through a very meticulous distillation process. Every plant needs a specific distillation time, and Young Living has 25 years experience in that art. In fact, this is the same thing that I wore to the farm last year whenever I was at our Mona farm for convention. And this shirt I actually got when we went to the Ecuador farm. And so I've been to many different farms, and it's a phenomenal thing. I did not get the whole seed to seal experience concept until I went to a farm. And so whenever I say seed to seal, what exactly am I saying? So it's a hugely important why you know where your oils come from, okay? The FDA has no regulations or safety measures on essential oils in the oil industry. So the oils are found in drugstores, online, even from other oil companies have been tested. They have harsh synthetic fillers and chemicals. So a cheap perfume grade is what you're looking at, okay? Young Living decided to rise above that and create their own strict guidelines to ensure purity. It's called Seed to Seal quality, and it's a commitment. So we abide by all of the rules and very strict guidelines to fulfill the promise, sending only the best products into your home. So the best part of it is think about your garden and think about things that go in your garden. Whenever you spray something on your plants, that's going to go into your body. And so that's the way that Young Living, that's what I love about their gardening process. I'm sorry, covered up the thing with my notes. Their gardening process, the plant material that's grown on corporately owned farms or carefully vetted partner farms, that you can visit. You can visit all the farms. It actually, the plant materials taken, its sustainable farming and sourcing practices are provided the purest oil, great care taken to preserve and protect the natural resources. They hand weed the fields, so zero use of pesticide. How do I know that they hand weed the fields? I met a guy named Nick up at the Idaho farm. He was a 22-year-old. His job was to hand weed the farm, the tree farm. So go around the trees and weed around the trees. And so very meticulous. And I said, Nick, you're 22 years old. Why do you want to work on a farm that you're weeding the field? And he said, I'm out here with the trees. I'm talking to God. I'm out here with nature. He's like, what better life could you have? I was like, that is amazing. Amazing. So the oils that retain their natural constituents and therapeutic properties, it allows it to, whenever you are spraying pesticides or stuff like that, it's going to mess up the whole constituents and all the different stuff. It's going to put all the different pesticides in there. So with that, we use food grade distilleries with state-of-the-art design and distillation methods, low pressure and low temperature distillation without the use of solvents or synthetic chemicals, very rigorous testing on each batch by internal labs and third-party facilities, and oils that are carefully reviewed each step of the production to meet the industry's safe purity standards. It's beyond organic, okay? All right, so with that, let's get into talking about taking everything to the great outdoors. So when, before Young Living had a outdoor spray or a insect repellent, which we do now, we have an insect repellent. It comes in a bottle, but I put it in this, I bought this spray bottle on Amazon, and I just shake it up and I spray it in the air. It's almost like a, it turns it into an aerosol spray. So I took the insect repellent, put it in here, and then a little bit of witch hazel to fill it on up to the top. And I have used this, I bought this last year, and you can tell how much I've used because it doesn't take a whole lot. Just the other day, the boys were out playing basketball, and they were like, there's these gnats in the air. We don't know where. So I went out and I sprayed it around. So the insect repellent has been phenomenal. Now, before I would make my own spray bottles, and I would just take glass spray bottles. You want to use the darker glass, brown or blue, and you make your own bug spray is what I called it, you know. And there's no secret. I mean, every time you go outside, whether you're gardening or not, the bugs are going to come and they will like to be around you. So if you think about it, if you're putting, your skin is your largest organ. And so if you're putting things on your skin like DEET and things that say, if the label says do not put on or do not get in your eyes, or do not get, you know, I shouldn't say get in your eyes, but do not get, do not inhale, do not blah, 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 all these warnings. You don't want that on your skin, okay? So just starting out with a great protectant on your skin before you go outside is great. So many different insecticides have harsh chemicals in it, and that's going to be a cost of your health, not just a cost to the environment. All right, so this is a great little outdoor spray. It's witch hazel, distilled water, thieves, lemon, rosemary, and citronella. Citronella is great for like keeping bugs away and stuff. It's one that I just always keep it. I keep it handy year round because even if you are around different bugs outdoors and stuff, or even if you, it seems like if we get a sting when we put citronella on, it almost pulls that poison out as well. Also, something that, and this morning you can tell I'm stuffy because I have seasonal allergies. However, my favorite combo is for my allergies is, and whenever I've gotten stung by a bee or anything like that, I take lavender and peppermint together. Those together helped me, and they act as an antihistamine for me. And so I took it this morning, but not early enough. And so a lot of people take lavender, lemon, and peppermint together. LLP is what we like to call it. Lavender, lemon, and peppermint. And the lavender is soothing. It's very helpful for my allergies. The peppermint helps me breathe better, but the lemon helps with the mucus and stuff. And so a lot of people like to put those together or diffuse them in your home. Now, today we're going to talk about two different topics. We're going to talk about gardening and we're going to talk about cooking. So when I talk to you about these two different oils, and I'm going to explain to you that the white is vitality, so it's for internal use, and the lemon, the yellow or the colored labels are for external use, topical or aromatic. So just know that it's the same oil, because I just shared with you about the seed to seal process and about how it's made. Well, if they make a huge batch of lemon, it's the same in both. FDA requires that we say either you take it internally or you put it on topically. So that's why Young Living, the quality is great. And so that's why I like to take the oils internally. I can tell a huge difference whenever I do. All right, so moving on. We had our outdoor spray. What about your pets and the other people that are in your garden? Okay. So what about pets? We love and adore them, but it can seem, but we can't seem to keep them out of our gardens, or other animals. As much as we love them, let's face it, they get in the garden and they cause quite a mess. So a simple and safe way to encourage them to stay away is use the different scents. Dogs dislike the smell of black pepper, and cats don't like rosemary. Therefore, they will choose to stay away from areas that have those scents. So here's a great little Pet Be Gone spray. It's putting a little bit of oils or strips of cloth with those oils on the cloth near, or planting rosemary or planting something like that keeps them away. It's amazing. Not just dogs and cats, but get a load of this. Jackie has a huge page in here in her book that you can get at Growing Healthy Homes, okay, Essentially Grown, and it talks about different pests that can be in your garden: ants, beetles, caterpillars, chiggers, cockroaches, fleas, gnats, mice, moths, mosquitoes, what oils they don't like. And so this book is a must-have if you're going to be gardening, because she talks about putting the strips of cloth. She talks about putting it on different, you can soak it in some rope. You can soak it in different things. Cotton balls, string is what she says. Organic pest control with essential oils. You can put it on cotton balls, hang strips of cloth. The best way to deter flying insects is soak your string in a solution. Things like that. Great, great tips. All right, so a lot of times there's unpleasant or unwanted growth. So you can waste so many hours on weeds. Summer is short and it's short enough. So to help spend unnecessary time dealing with that weed overgrowth, you may want to try getting rid of unwanted plant growth that doesn't involve harmful chemicals. So this is an unwanted weed spray right here. And that's one thing I love, love, love about Young Living. We spray our fields when we're making our plants, whenever our plants are being grown, we spray our fields with the essential oils and use that as a pesticide instead of using pesticides. And so that's one great thing that you should be so thankful that is used. So putting the oils on in the soil and spraying it around is actually going to help the growth of your plant, but it's also going to help to keep those weeds away. So companion plants, another great thing. If you've been around in a garden, then you realize that there's a way that you can actually plant plants together. Some plants may play well together, as others do not. This is because every plant has certain nutrients that it uses from the soil for growth and fruit production. Also, plants excrete certain byproducts back into the soil that they can either help or hinder your harvest. If you grow two types of plants next to each other that both rely strongly on nitrogen for growth, they'll compete for overuse of the nitrogen in the soil and starve each other out. So corn and tomatoes are an example of plants that don't do well together. So if you plant two types of plants together that are different nutrients, they work together for each of their plants' growth. A good example is tomatoes and carrots. They work well together in the soil. Therefore, plant them next to each other and it will result in a beautiful harvest. So what does this have to do with essential oils? Well, essential oils are made from plants too. So consider using oils in place of your companion plants. For example, if you're looking to plant lavender next to green beans, grab your lavender essential oil and make this little spray of a companion spray. Use it on the soil and leaves and plant using this guide for 10 to 15 drops of the corresponding essential oil. So green beans like lavender and basil. Broccoli likes basil and thyme. Carrots like sage. Cucumber like sage. Onions like German chamomile. Potatoes like basil and sage. And tomatoes like basil. I mean, hello, doesn't basil taste great with tomatoes anyway? So think about that whenever you're putting them together and you are planting them, that take in that source and do some research on it. All right, so another great thing is with the different oils that we want to, there's my notes, sorry. Get my notes together here. Did you know that some plants self-pollinate? Fruits like peppers can stand alone and produce fruit. Not every plant does that. Lots of them need help to cross-pollination between male and female plants. So know your pollinators. Bees and butterflies are some of the friendliest insects that you can have into your garden. I will tell you, I feel like a flower sometimes because when I go out in to the world, bees love to come near me, and I'm not scared of them. I'm not allergic to them, but they just come and they'll smell me and they'll go, she's not a flower, and they just leave. But because of the essential oils that I have on, a lot of times they come and I attract them because they think I'm a flower. So create your own spray using essential oils to spritz on the flowering buds of your garden to encourage pollinators to come in and get the job done. So 6 to 8 drops of lavender or orange oil in a distilled water with a sprayer to spray it on there, mix it together, and very, very helpful to spray it on and make sure that the bees and that they're being pollinated. All right, so tending the harvest. It's the most wonderful time of the year. And so it's harvest season. All your hard work has come to fruition. It's paid off. You get to pluck the delicious fruit and vegetables from the earth, and you get to eat it in your own home. I mean, from farm, field to the table, right? Didn't get any better. If you're like me, sometimes I find that fresh produce goes bad before you can eat it. That's because bacteria rests on the fruit without the support of a plant and fruit veggie breakdown. So we have a phenomenal fruit wash. So fruit and veggie soak. So it's great to, even though you have grown it in your backyard and you are, you know what's going on it, there's still things in the environment that come down. If you're buying from a farmer's market, you don't know what has been on those farmer's hands. Right now in the store, we're going to the store, we're buying fruits and vegetables at the store. People sneeze in the store. People touch things in the store. You know, I saw a video not too long ago that said most of the fruits and vegetables that are sitting out in the produce section, they have human feces on them. Hello, that's the nastiest thing I'd ever heard in my entire life. So do I need to wash my fruits and vegetables before I eat them? Absolutely. But now I soak them a little bit more after hearing that report because that was nasty. But at the same time, think about it. In the store, people are touching things, people are picking them up, people are breathing, they're coughing, everything. So you always, always, always want to wash your fruits and vegetables. However, what makes it different than the fruit and veggie soak than just washing them with regular water? It actually has, it's got digize in it. And digize is great at just cleansing and getting all that bacteria that doesn't belong out of there, getting anything that doesn't belong on there, getting it off and stripping it off. And actually, I think when I started using the fruit and veggie soak, my fruits and vegetables lasted longer. So it's a phenomenal product. And of course, yeah, use the dish soap to clean your things whenever you are, before you put them in. I also like to use glass instead of plastic because I feel it tends to work better. All right, so canning season. Now, this is more a lot of times in the summer and the fall, but if you don't can, you've got to buy, canned vegetables and stuff. Like this week, I made soup yesterday. I would have loved to have grabbed some stewed tomatoes that were canned in my pantry, but I couldn't. I had to buy the canned. So with canning, I'll just cover this briefly because I don't know a whole lot about canning. But in order to can 30 quarts of spaghetti sauce, you'll need a lot of oregano. Lots. But buying dried oregano adds up very fast to achieve the flavor you want to get in a recipe. But remember how concentrated that I talked that our oils were at the very beginning whenever I talked about the life force of the plant. So you better believe that it packs a huge flavor. So 1 drop of oregano, 2 to 3 drops of oregano in a huge, large pot of spaghetti is all that you're going to need, instead of getting tons and tons of the dried oregano. So that's huge. So that's one thing. They are non-GMO certified, all of our Vitality oils. And so that's one thing that you want to keep in mind when you're canning and when you're cooking. That is very helpful. Love for the gardener. When you've been outside and you're bending over and you're picking things and stuff like that, come in and put some fabulous Ortho Ease massage oil on. You can make a soothing stick. Grab your purification out, rub it on your body before you're sore the next day, and that's really going to help. Something else, 2 of my favorites, before I go out to the garden, before I go outdoors, and I even visit the farmer's market, I put on the natural sunscreen that we have. Is great. I use this year round on my face. I just add a little bit if we're going to be out, even at baseball games. And then if I happen to forget, or like the other day, my boys went fishing, it was just overcast, it didn't even seem like it was sunny, they all came home with a sunburn. So I sprayed the Laviderm after sun spray and Laviderm spray on their skin to help soothe that, because they were out there too long, they got a little bit of sun. But we also use lavender for our sunburn. We just slather ourselves in lavender whenever we get a sunburn. It usually doesn't peel and it doesn't hurt and burn. And we have redheads in the family too, okay? So that's one thing that we love to use. And so, all right, so switching gears, now we're gonna talk a little bit about cooking, all right? So let me talk with you a little bit about cooking. And, oops, hang on a second. I switched the wrong thing. Let me just shut that. There we go. All right. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about cooking and how I use the oils. Yesterday I made homemade soup, and I love to use the oils in my soup. I love to use oils whenever I'm cooking, a number of different oils that we use. Also, like I mentioned before, the Vitality cooking kit comes with a cookbook. There's also a number of different cookbooks that you can get from Young Living that also have the einkorn products in them. We have einkorn flour that you can get. So if it's a time where you're trying to order everything online, then grab some of the einkorn products online with your Young Living account. Okay, so I've already covered the seed to seal, so I'm going to skip through. use and safety with different essential oils whenever you're cooking. Okay, let's cover that a little bit. And this isn't a PowerPoint. It's actually a sway. So if it kind of flips through a little bit. Cooking with oils is not complicated, but there's just a few little tips. So you want to store your oils in a cool, dry place. They also do well in the refrigerator. Putting your cooking oils in a delicate food grade dropper bottle to make sure measuring them out is easier. You can use stainless steel or glass pre-mixing bowls and oils. You don't want to use plastic whenever you're cooking with oils. You want to use your stainless steel pans, and you want to use your glass bowls. Keep the bottles sealed tightly to preserve their quality and shelf life, but not so tight that their lids will crack. Add oils to a dish at the end of the cooking process, and that will extend the life of the oil, and it requires fewer drops to achieve that as well. All right, so here we go. There we go. All right, so let's talk about cost and convenience. So, do you buy fresh or dried herbs from the grocery store to cook with? Are they organic? Have you ever broken down the costs of them and actually how much they cost? So here's a little math for you. Since Amazon is a household name, here's a product. So the Frontier Co-op Organic Rosemary Leaf Fancy Grade, you can get 0.85 ounces a bottle for $4.69. It contains approximately 7 tablespoons of organic dried rosemary leaves, which ends up being 67 cents per tablespoon. According to the conversion chart, 4 drops of rosemary essential oil is equal to 1 tablespoon. An entire bottle of Rosemary Vitality contains 90 to 100 drops, and that costs $7.75, equaling to 8 cents per drop, for a total of 32 cents per tablespoon of rosemary. So it doesn't take a math whiz to figure that out, okay? That's a huge savings, right? So let's say you're making a dish and the recipe calls for 1 tablespoon of rosemary. You could run to the store, get it delivered from Amazon, or you could just open it up right there and have it in your kitchen with your oil, because the great thing about Young Living oils, we don't have an expiration date on them, okay? Because they're living plants that have been distilled properly. There's no expiration date on there. There is a batch date. If you look at the lot and the batch number on each, has like a little barcode, and that will tell you how it was raised. So there have been a few instances where Young Living has had peppermint that doesn't smell like peppermint. People start calling in, hey, this peppermint doesn't smell right. I don't know what's wrong. And they look at the batch and the lot, and they go, oh, that peppermint actually sat in the sun just a little bit longer. And so the medicinal properties are a little bit different. So it has higher menthol rate, or they don't go by the aromatic, whether it's going to smell great or not. They go by the constituents in each single bottle of oil. So that's what's great about having that batch and that lot number. They can tell you how much sun, how much rain, everything. They keep track of that. And so they don't go by the smell. So the best and most affordable option is essential oils whenever you're cooking, instead of herbs and things like that. Okay, good to the last drop. All right, so let's talk about this. Let me scroll down here. There we go. Here's how they measure up. A measurement conversion chart for Young Living Vitality oils. You can take a toothpick and swirl it in. You can use a teaspoon or a tablespoon. So it'll tell you 8 drops of black pepper is like 1 tablespoon. That is a lot of black pepper, let me tell you. Black pepper is so strong. I love black pepper too, honestly. I will drink it I'll add it to my water. Oh my goodness, it is so tangy. It's actually in our Zing drink. It's great for energy, great for energy. All right, so all the different ones. If you want this chart, email me. It's my name, Mollie Moses, MOLLIE, 1230 @gmail.com. Email me and I'll get you that conversion chart. Okay. All right. So let's talk about good to the last drop. Another savings that you can look at is to infuse things: butter, salt, olive oil, water, anything your heart desires. So flavored butter, add 1 drop of essential oil to soften your butter as well. Flavored salt, grab your empty lemon, lime, basil, rosemary, thyme bottle, fill it up with good quality salt, let it sit for 24 hours. And the salt absorbs all the extra essential oils that were in that bottle. Flavored spray, combine 1 tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil, 10 drops of essential oil, and filtered water in 2 ounces of food grade safe glass or glass spray bottle. Shake well before you use and spray on the food at the end of cooking. It's great for pasta. Flavor your kitchen oils. You get to play around with a few of these ideas. Grab 2 ounces of your food safe dropper, preferably glass. Fill it with extra virgin olive oil or your favorite kitchen oil. I like grapeseed, and I use a high grade for cooking with. Leaving a little bit of room for essential oil, and start just adding a few different drops. And you can drop this on your food. Flavored water. I drink the flavored water all the time. I actually love the new Vitality drops too. And so the citrus oils are a great option for your water. They're cold pressed from the rind, so they're not hard on your tooth enamel either. Plus they're filled with antioxidants. Start with 1 drop of in your glass and just work your way up. I usually about 32 ounces. I'm up to like 5 drops of lime or 1 little squirt of the Vitality. You can also make like a vinaigrette. You can make vinaigrettes. You can make all types of different things. You can make salad dressings, different things like that. Okay. Next, let's talk about seasons and flavoring. Okay. So some of the things that we like to do. Add black pepper to your scrambled eggs. Add orange or Thieves Vitality with your chocolate. I made chocolate brownies the other day for Easter, and I added orange, and you could just taste it. It was so good. All right. Add peppermint to your brownie or hot chocolate or your coffee. Add cinnamon bark and nutmeg to pancake batter. My kids love that. I have cinnamon bark in our pancake batter all the time. Oregano and basil to spaghetti sauce. Now, if you're making like a spaghetti sauce pot for your family, I would dip the toothpick in oregano and then stir with the toothpick. Okay, doesn't take a lot of oregano. Add lemon Vitality to marinades for chicken and fish. I take lemon Vitality and I'll lay chicken breasts out, and I put a drop on each chicken breast, and it's just flavored. It just goes in and flavors it, and then I put my seasoning on top. Add dill Vitality to your favorite potato salad or tzatziki sauce. I love to have tzatziki sauce with steak and stuff, and so like a Greek type of a sauce. And so add dill to that. Make your own tzatziki sauce. Cilantro Vitality for your Taco Tuesday recipes. All right, so let's talk about a few other things. So different things that you can also add. You can make a smoothie. This has a picture of nitro in it. Nitro and Ningxia added to marinades and added with your oils. Oh my goodness, they're just fabulous. Okay. And I've got a ton of different recipes. You can actually, look at this, lavender, lemon, is it lavender blueberry? Let me look and see. Lavender ice cream. You can get this at Young Living's farm, the lavender ice cream. That's one thing I will miss. Homemade blueberry lavender ice cream. 2 cups of frozen blueberries, 1 cup of full fat coconut cream, 4 tablespoons of blue agave, 4 drops of lavender Vitality, and up to a 1/3 cup of coconut water. Oh my goodness. Lavender and blueberry ice cream. Yes, please sign me up. All right. And you can also get your regular ice cream. Once you put it in your bowl, add some drops of Vitality to it. I mean, right? So summer is coming. All right, so let's talk about a few others. Let's look and see. All right, autumn. What about autumn? During the fall, you can make cinnamon apple chips. You can make pumpkin spice protein bars, pumpkin spice lattes. Hello. Nutmeg is so great for your adrenals too. Nutmeg is great. Ginger's great for your stomach. Clove is so good for your whole body. Cinnamon bark is as well. Clove and cinnamon are two that are in our Thieves blend, and so those are great for your whole body. All right, and so you can actually make your own creamers, coffee creamers, and you can add the vitality oils with them. All right, you can make apple crisps and all kinds of fun stuff. All right, so what about in the winter? Winter warmth. What are some good things for winter? French toast with apple cranberry sauce. Hello. Dark chocolate cinnamon mousse and homemade hot cocoa. Those are just some ideas. These are great recipes. If you want these recipes, let me know. And now, if you don't have this starter kit right here in front of you to even order more, then you need to contact the person that invited you to watch this video, because we will definitely hook you up with these amazing oils. So I hope that you've learned today. I hope that this small little class has taught you a wealth of knowledge to be able to plug into your garden, to your cooking experience, and just experiment. Like I said, essentially grown by Jackie Tarleton, one of our own members, and you can get this book at Growing Healthy Homes. It's growinghealthyhomes.com. Grab this book. If you're in a gardening group, grab a few of them and share them with your friends, because this is something that people need to have their hands on. I love all of her different ideas. She has a deer and rabbit repellent spray. She also talks about how to get fungus off of your plants naturally. All kinds of great things in here. It talks about how to prepare your soil to make your organic garden. So if you don't have that book, please go and get it. It's a great resource to have. Thank you for joining me. I'm so glad that you came to learn more about gardening and essential oils in the kitchen and cooking.